there, welcome back to the channel. Today's episode is going to be a couple things. One of them is we're going to talk about and demonstrate the reinstallation of the headlights and the actual marker lights and turn signals on the car. So I took the old ones off. You may have seen a previous episode where the previous owner had kind of Mickey Mouse some stuff. And not only that, the actual lenses were not good. The chrome was not good. As a matter of fact, on the side marker lights, they are kind of pop metal and the chrome was popped off. So I decided to heck with it and just got new ones. The other thing I want to talk about is the clamps I'm going to be using on the radiator system. So I basically had gotten the clamps from Moss. So we have these kind of the double clamps here for the big radiator hoses. But to be quite frank, I'm not a big fan of these worm drive clamps. They basically tend to kind of dig in. So not a huge fan. And what's kind of interesting is that I actually took a 4-day maintenance class on the Rotax engine that's in my airplane. And on that Rotax engine, it's actually both water oiled and air cooled, a little bit of everything. But on their heater, the water heater, not the water heater, but the radiator hoses, they use these band clamps. And the nice thing about these band clamps is they just provide a constant pressure and they don't necessarily dig in and deform the hose. So since this is a low pressure system, we're not talking about fuel injection here. My goal is I'm basically installing these band clamps on the smaller diameter radiator hose plus on the heater hoses. So you can see that this back heater hose I've installed already, does a very nice job. And then I'm also going to use them on the fuel side. So I'm going to put the band clamps on the fuel side. Again, much nicer and less damaging than the worm-driven stainless steel clamps. So that's the plan. So band clamps, guess where they came from? Yes, Amazon, as I like to call it sometimes, the Harbor Freight of the internet. And so I ordered a kind of a decent selection of band clamps, and then I also ordered kind of a decent selection of tools. So there's two of the tools shown right here. Then the third one's back there. Actually, so let me pan out so you can see all three of them. So basically, the difference with these tools is they have different angles that you can attach to it. And then this one here is basically, so you can get into kind of weird little places to basically either install or detach. So I've already had to kind of use a couple of the different ones just to get past some nooks and crannies. But as I said, not a problem. These things work out very well. So I will kind of show an example of doing one. So let me get it set up and we'll be right back. Okay, so basically what we're going to do, these tools are pretty nifty. They have kind of a circular part here, and then they have one that has a groove. So the circular part is where you put this little dog leg in, and then the groove part is where you put the other side in. So basically it goes pretty simple. This is ratcheting too. I'm not sure if you can see that, but it has some little clicks. So you just kind of get it lined up, find the tool that you want to use based on the situation that you have to deal with, and then go ahead and just get it in. And then once it's in there, you can ratchet it. And so now it's held. So pretty cool. Okay, and so then after that is just a question of just getting obviously on top of the hose that you're looking at. So let's check that out here real quick. Let me get the camera repositioned. Okay, so it's a really simple matter of basically just squeezing it till it's the right size and then sliding it over the hose. And then we're just gonna kind of drop it off here, and then we can click this little lever here. Let's go. And we're good. And now the next trick is obviously to get the other hose in real quick. So let me do that. So I'm gonna get the hose. This one's a fun one. A little bit more. Okay, so we got that in. Let's get it, there it goes. Okay, so I think that actually needs to go down a little bit more if I remember correctly. That's just trying to make sure that we have a good, once it goes on here, yeah, I think that looks good. So that actually creates a nice little angle also. So we'll just grab a pair of pliers now, open her up, And then we will just literally move this up to where it needs to go. The good nice thing about it, scratching. So you should come up here, right around there somewhere. And voila, it's on there. It's not going anywhere. It's on there nice and good, and it's not going to really mess up the, what's it call it, like the worm drive. I'm going to actually adjust this just a smidge, just because my OCD is such that, there it goes. I like that better. Yeah, and so anyway, this is on here good. We'll do a couple more. As a matter of fact, on the back, I already have them attached. So let me, again, reposition the camera real quick. So you can see on the back, I already have the back one in. So I went ahead and put the other clamp ahead of time. So again, really super simple. These are the nice silicone hoses, so they go on really easy. So voila. Sorry if I was in your way. And then, again, a little circular guy on one side, this guy on the other, bring it in. Right around there, I think. Release the ratchet. Voila. Very nice. And again, most likely a lot better on the hose if it just provides an even distribution across the actual rubber. And again, it was kind of a trick I got from doing my road tax training. So anyway, pretty cool. Just thought you might be interested. So I'm going to do the same thing with, as I said, a couple of the fuel lines. And also, I think was a couple of the vacuum lines also. Good deal. So one thing I did want to kind of talk about before I got too carried away and put the clamps on this fuel line for the carbs is that the original fuel line had a couple of these clamps right here. But these clamps were missing the rubber piece. And frankly, I only have one of these clamps. It's in pretty sorry shape. So the trick is what to do by getting new ones. So my trick was basically buy some of these, I think these have a special name, I'm not sure what they are, but grab some of these clamps and then cut the tab off and come up with something like this over here. So, so I went ahead and cut the tab off with the Dremel tool, made this hole a little bit bigger. So my next step is I'm going to basically attach it over to one of the carb mounts on the top ones on both sides, and then see how everything works. See if we can get a look at that. Boy, it is hidden right back in there. Yep, there it is. Anyway, so my thought is put those on, check it out, see how it's going to work. We'll most likely bend these tabs back to be something a little bit closer to this. So we will see how it all turns out. So anyway, just a quick heads up before I go ahead and put the little clamps on this hose. So let me get it mounted up and see how it looks. Awesome. All right, so this is kind of the quasi-finished product. I finished putting all the band clamps on. You can see I have them now on the fuel line. So also on these little vent hoses for the float bolts. And then you can also see where I have mounted up the clamp for the fuel line. So that's kind of what it looks like. It's been attached to one of the bolts for the carburetor mount. So I haven't quite fully tightened this down. I suspect that fuel line may come on or off a couple of times before I get the car running. So for the time being, they're just kind of placeholders. But yeah, it looks really nice. I mean, I tried looking at Moss for one of those places to find it and no luck. So I'm thinking also for the time being, I'm not going to put any clamps on the vacuum hoses. They're actually on there pretty snug. And so there's really not a lot of pressure on them. So I'm just going to leave them as is. The one challenge I'm going to have is finding something to block this port off. This car originally had some emissions equipment that, quite frankly, I'm not putting on, basically because it's toast. I mean, it's the air pump, whatever it is basically all seized up. So for a 1970s car, I don't think it's worth it at this point in time. So, okay, cool. So that kind of shows you kind of pretty much, I think there's about all the clamps on. The only exceptions are the radiator clamps. I'm just going to go with those band clamps that came with, that I ordered from Moss for these. So I would rather have these guys, but I think this is at least okay. So we'll go that route. So so really our next goal is to try to do something about these headlights. So one thing I did want to do is real quick before putting back on, just kind of clean this area up a little bit. So I've hit it with a little bit of a kind of a buffing compound with some polish just to get a little bit nice. I'm trying to avoid doing a lot of serious cleaning up around the new headlights and turn signals, etc. If we go into this part of the garage, I've kind of put them all, this big pile of junk right here, different headlights, etc. And then also here are the boxes for the rest of the stuff. So, okay, so here is my workbench full of a bunch of miscellaneous front lights. So change of plans during the process of doing kind of the signal installs. I came across an issue with the front marker lights. So basically the frame does not fit the actual light. So anyhow, so I'm going to break this video up at this point in time, and we'll call this one good for today. And then we'll do a second part, which we will hopefully talk about the marker lights. And then hopefully by that time I'll have it resolved. So anyhow, hope you guys liked this video. If you did, give me a big thumbs up. If you're interested in hearing about new releases of videos, please hit the subscribe down below. Have a good one, and we'll catch you later. If you like this video, hit subscribe and give us a big like down below. Thanks for watching.